Hello, this is ThePekoPlaythroughs, and welcome to the Mighty Flip Champs DX playthrough. I'm probably not going to do commentary on all of these parts. I just wanted to do it on the first one, because this channel, I don't put commentary on my playthroughs. But this one's special, because this is Mighty Flip Champs DX. So Mighty Flip Champs was originally a DSiWare exclusive, and I bought a DSi just for that game. It's kind of funny how it all happened. It's like WayForward knows how the male brain works. It was I was just searching IGN and I saw this article. Article and the image preview was, this hot anime girl with boobs. So I was like, oh, I gotta click on that. And so of course WayForward, that's sort of their thing. I found out later on, but yeah, I clicked on the article, and it turned out this game actually looked pretty damn interesting. Then I found out, oh, it's DSiWare exclusive, because at that point, I didn't really want to get a DSi. But the more and more I read about it, and the more I heard about it on podcasts and stuff, the more I got really interested in it. And I ended up buying a DSi just for this. And it was one of the best purchases of my entire life, because first of all, the DSi is awesome. And this game is fucking awesome. At least on the DSi it is. This is still a really, really good version, but I'll get into why I don't like it as much in a little bit. But I think from what I heard, Mighty Flip Champs was sort of WayForward's way of testing the waters for DSiWare to see if that's how they could finally get their Shantae sequel out. Because I only found out about Shantae after I heard about Mighty Flip Champs. Well, I knew about Shantae, but I didn't know that WayForward made it. This was sort of my introduction to WayForward, so and it's a good way to get started because holy crap, this game is so good. And I remember it was like the first or one of the first games on DSiWare to be priced at 800 points, so everyone was like, "Oh, it's so expensive." But no, it was because it was the only game on the DSiWare worth a damn at the time. And to be honest, aside from the other two WayForward games, still is the only game worth a damn on DSiWare. Yeah, this is still the best game on DSiWare, if you ask me. Shantae Risky's Revenge I didn't finish, and I haven't started Mighty Milky Way, though I do have it, and I listened to the soundtrack. But yeah, so I've been championing this game ever since it came out, and I actually did a video of the Game of the Year for 2009, and this was my second favorite game, right after Pretty Can I Really Be the Hero. But high praise for me, because it takes a lot to impress me. Oh yeah, and like the final level of this game is so unbelievable. That final level, the music is awesome, and sort of the twist they throw at you in sort of like the last third of the level. I won't spoil it for you, because it takes you completely by surprise. But wow, that whole level was awesome. The best final level ever, if you ask me. WayForward, holy crap, they nailed what a final level should be like in this game. Epic music, hard level, just, oh my god, that level was so amazing. So, mad props to WayForward on that one. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about the DX version now, because I've sort of stopped. I don't have enough to say about the DSiWare version, but there are a lot of niggles with this version that I don't like. I knew when I first heard about Flip Champs DX by the ESRB leak that it was going to play horizontally. Instantly I knew that's how they're going to have to do it. And it doesn't work as well, I have to say. And here's the reason why. On the DSiWare, like on the DS, it's stacked on top of each other, so you have to keep looking up and down on the top and bottom screens, and that actually works a lot better, because most of the time you're actually going to be looking at the bottom screen, the one that's the page you're going to flip to. Most of the times you're not really looking at the top screen. You do have to keep looking back and forth, but you'll be looking at the bottom screen a lot. And what sucks about this version is that if you are looking at the other side, the one that it's going to flip to, the controls are inverted, so it's really confusing. And I still haven't really gotten used to it, and it's it really hurts the experience. It really makes it a lot harder than it should be. And, oh, by the way, that's something I wanted to bring up, is that everyone in the reviews of this game, even the DSiWare version, said, oh, this game is really hard, you'll have a hard time with it. One of the hardest games in a while. It's like, it's not that hard. I mean, sure, it's a bit mind-boggling at times, and a bit brain-busting, but it's not that hard. I think reviewers are just sort of overplaying its difficulty. It's not that hard. If you're reading a review and seeing these people say, oh, it's extremely hard, don't buy into it, because while it is difficult, it's not as hard as everyone makes it out to be. Everyone really exaggerates with this game's difficulty. Although, you know, maybe I'm just good at it, because, like, the first time playing these puzzles, I didn't have too much trouble. Yeah, I died a lot, but not as much as, you know, Prinny or Ninja Gaiden. It's not super hard. Getting the S ranks is difficult, but that's actually something I highly encourage you to do, because first of all, you get a pretty nifty reward. If you're a guy, you'll really like the reward at the end. And it adds so much to the experience to try and get the S ranks, because you have to do it as quickly as possible, and you have to learn the right routes, and you just have to be really good at the game, and that actually makes it a lot more fun. But I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on the PS3 version, because, wow, it's just the format just isn't as good, and there's a couple other things wrong with it too. It's just sort of the flipping animation. I don't know how to really describe it, but the flipping animation is a bit more disorienting than the DSiWare version. With the DSiWare version, you can clearly see where it's going to flip to next. I don't know. Like I said, I can't really describe it, but there's something about the flipping animation in this that makes it really hard to tell where Alta's going to end up. And I think it's just because it is inverted like that. It has to flip like an actual book, and it goes inverted, whereas on the DSi one, it just flips upside down, which is a lot easier to keep track of. So that just makes it really difficult, and more difficult than it needs to be. And another problem is the way Alta moves with the PS3 controller it's really hard to adjust her position just like a really tiny bit. When you slightly tap the D-pad, she like goes shooting off way more than she would in the DSiWare version. At least that's what I think, because I don't know, maybe I'm talking out of my ass on that one, but it sure seems a lot harder to position her in the place I want her to be. And like on the DS, it felt very natural. I knew exactly where I'd be safe and where I wouldn't be safe. But on this, I find myself having to position myself a lot more carefully. And also, I take a lot more time to think, just because I get confused with the inverted control. So that's really a problem, and it really makes the DSiWare version the best version. And also, there's some load time problems, of course. I mean, like this press X to continue. In the original game, it was you could do retry, continue, or title, or level select. And if you clicked next level, it just sent you to the next level. You didn't have to go back to the level select screen every time you wanted to go to the next level. It's not a big deal, but it is a change that isn't for the better. And there's a couple of sort of weird loading glitches in this. Oh, by the way, I freaking love this music. This is an awesome song. And the first time I played these automatic flipping levels, I was like so shocked. I was like, holy shit, this is what it's doing? Oh my god, this is such a cool idea. Like, this whole game is just so creative. That's what I like about it. It's so original in a day and age where nothing is original. Though I heard it was somewhat inspired by Wendy Every Which Way, which is another Way Forward title, which I've been trying to find a copy of, but can't seem to find it. It's not as hard to get as Shantae, but goddamn, it sure seems to be hard to find. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, this game's just so original. I love everything. It's such a creative concept. But what was I saying before that? Oh yeah, some weird loading glitches is sometimes when you pick up the pigs or the jetpack cat, there's like a little pause, and it's really noticeable when comparing it to the DSiWare version. Like right there, when I got picked up by the fishman, there was a brief pause there, and it sort of froze for a second for loading, and that happens when you pick up the cats, or the pigs and the cat too. Occasionally that happens, and it is noticeable, and it's quite annoying. But not a big deal. Oh, and these little intro sections with the title card there, in the DSiWare version, you could skip those, but I always watch them anyway. But on this you can't skip them because that's masking the load time, which thankfully is a pretty short load time. But and like I've heard some reviewers complaining about that, but you know, I watched those anyway, so it doesn't make any difference to me. It's like skipping the little intro sequences to the levels of Mario Clash. You don't skip those. It's like do 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 boom. It's awesome. Why would you skip that? It's the same with this. I wouldn't skip those title cards. Oh, actually, funny story is that in preparation for Mighty Flip Champs, like I was so pissed off. Every Monday I'd be hoping, please, oh please, please, oh please, oh please, be released, and then fuck it. It took so long for this game to come out because Nintendo kept raping WayForward in the ass with their release schedule. It's like, come on, release the game already. I want this. So I drew 2 fan arts in the meantime, and actually the first fan art I posted, I think it was Matt Bozon himself actually commented on that. It's like, holy crap, it's Matt Bozon. And I told him to go, I told him to look out for another piece of fan art I was going to do, and it was a much better fan art, and he didn't comment on that one. It's a bit disappointing, but still, he actually commented on it, and he said he forwarded it to other members in the Mighty Flip Champs development cycle. That was cool. I thought that was cool. Oh, and by the way, I'm not as good at this game as I'm making it look, because I cut out all my failed attempts, and I cut out a couple really crummy runs through a level, and I haven't actually recorded all of the levels so far. Yeah, I've just recorded the first 2 worlds at time of speaking, and so I don't quite know if there's anything added to this version. That was another thing that's somewhat disappointing, is I have to admit, when I heard the title Mighty Flip Champs DX, I sort of squealed, because Link's Awakening DX is my favorite game of all time, so just adding DX to the end of anything makes it automatically awesome. So I was kind of disappointed to find out that there's nothing really added to this version. I was sort of hoping that, like, my ultimate fantasy was that it was going to be a retail release with, you know, a bunch of extra levels and, you know, lots of unlockable concept art and stuff, because I love the end credits that show all the concept art. That's a cool thing. I liked that. But yeah, and there would be, like, leaderboards for your times, and that was what I was hoping for a retail release, but I knew there wouldn't be a retail release, but I still kind of hoped there would be something added to this. But from the looks of it, it doesn't look like there is. Oh well. Though I have to admit that getting all the S ranks on this version would be nice, because you can see the awesome alternate title screen in HD. It's like, whoa. I never got that. She has like the one tooth, like Professor Egad. Yes, Alta is Professor Egad's daughter. Write that fanfic. No, actually do not, because fanfics are horrible, and that would be a really weird fanfic. How the hell, or fanfiction, how the hell would Professor Egad and Alta be related in any way? Oh well. Yeah, and this level's kind of annoying, but yeah, World 2 has a few really annoying levels, actually. One of which I actually had to re-record several times, because I kept getting crappy runs on it, because it was probably one of my least favorite levels in the game. So, I guess this part's almost over. So, Mighty Flip Champs DX is really good so far, but I do recommend the DSiWare version over it. But it's still an awesome game, and you should buy it no matter what, because it's a great game, and it deserves your support. So, this is PekoPlaythroughs, and I'll see you next time. Actually, I won't be talking, so no. Bye.